So today I'm going to be recapping SmackDown this week, July 11th. So it starts out, Jelly Roll and Randy Orton come out. They have a little backstage segment. You know, they say hi to each other basically, and then we're off starting the show. LA Knight comes out. Crowd is hot. He starts cutting a promo on Seth. He says he's desperate and washed. Calls the new group the Goon Troop. Says he's done joking, because they tried to injure him. They wanted him to take him off the roster, and it was under the order of Seth Rollins because Seth couldn't do it himself. He says he wants to take Seth's dignity. He says he wants justice and just to hurt him, and he definitely will. He says that Seth has all the reasons not to be scared, but he doesn't need to be scared to get his butt kicked. And he then announces that it's not a prediction, it's not a spoiler, it's a fact of life, and that LA Knight himself is the spoiler. So then Paul Heyman comes out, says that he's the Oracle, he can see the future, and the future of the entire industry is within his group, and that when he looks at LA Knight, he sees nothing because LA Knight has no future at all. Then Solo Sikoa comes out with, Tala Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo. He tells Paul basically that, when he left, everything changed, and there's no more bloodline, no more tribal chief. The crowd boos, of course, because, we all love the OTC, and there's no more wise man. He tells Paul that if he wants to see another day, he better leave, or we'll put him through the table like they did last year. So Paul hightails it out the back of the arena. Then Solo Sikoa comes up to LA Knight, and the crowd says yeah after he says LA Knight, and then Solo Sikoa says no, and then they just go back and forth. Then he just declares that he's champ and Jacob Fatu is gone, and then they start chanting for Fatu, obviously. And then he said he'll give LA Knight the same opportunity to leave like Paul, or the MFTs will make sure he doesn't walk again. LA Knight says all right, and then he walks towards the ropes like, he's going to leave the ring, to a big chant of the crowd, chanting his name to make sure he stays in the ring. And then he, on the mic, says, they won't let me to leave, and tells him make him leave. So as they start coming around the ring from all sides, Big Jim here shows up, Jimmy Uso, and he throws a chair in the ring and then grabs his own chair and runs in the ring and then helps LA Knight take them all. But Tala Tonga, in a show of how huge this guy is, he gets on the rope and he's going for it, and Solo starts grabbing his leg and telling him, no, not yet, not yet. And then in the midst of all this chaos, of course, Nick Aldis comes out, announces that, this tag team of Big Jim and LA Knight, you guys are going to go against Solo and JC Mateo. And the crowd is very excited. They really are ready for this match that we're going to have tonight. So then we cut over to the backstage where we've got Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and Alexa asked Charlotte to be her ring, be at the ring with her for the four-way. Charlotte Flair, she agrees very reluctantly, and then that's when we, start right into it. So Roxanne Perez and Sol Ruca have their entrance, then Alexa Bliss and Kairi Sane come out, all with their partners with them. So this was actually a very, very good match. It was very entertaining to me. I really liked it. The crowd was actually very, very hot for all the false Sister Abigails that came. Every time Alexa Bliss went for it, they went amazing. They went wild for it. Another funny thing is Roxanne ended up, something happened in the corner with her and another opponent, I don't remember off the top of my head, and Sol Ruca came up and gave him a double soul snatcher. So Raquel goes over and takes Roxanne's foot and puts it on the rope as the pin's going to happen. And in a very heelish way, Raquel just walks over to the announce table and just brushes some dirt off of it, like she was doing nothing at all. So Zarya comes, to confront her about that, and Raquel just ends up tossing her on the announce desk, which smashes her head into it. And then Charlotte comes up behind over Raquel and then throws Raquel over the announce desk into Joe Tess, and it took him down. And that was very funny. And while all that chaos is going on the outside, um, Alexa Bliss ends up getting the Sister Abigail on Kairi Sane, but right before she delivered it, the crowd got as loud as they had been for the entire night. And then when she won the match, Charlotte Flair came into the ring, gave her a high five, stood there, looked at her with approval. And then after that match, we go straight into the Street Profits and the Wyatt Six. So when Montez Ford came out, he is dressed like a 1990s Shawn Michaels Heartbreak Kid with the red and white. And it looked awesome. He had an amazing outfit. That was really cool. And Dawkins had something to match him, but he still kept his original style with the gym shorts. And the Wyatt Six make their entrance. It's Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis who are going to be doing this tag match. I'm not sure if they're going to be holding the belts like the Freebirds, where, Eric can come in and sub, or I'm not sure about that. But they eventually won the match. The match was all right, and the only reason I say all right is because Montez and Angelo really are the only reason that made this match anything good. It's crazy because Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy are both really good wrestlers, but when you put them on a team together, it's really not that great to me. At least I wasn't a big fan of the switch. I wasn't really a fan of the match in general. Like, there were a couple big moves, power moves, and it went pretty cool, but I think maybe having, I don't know, Dexter and Eric maybe would have made, I'm not really sure. Who am I to judge? But either way, the belts change. New tag team champions, Wyatt Six. People have been waiting on that for a while, so a lot of people are happy with that. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins got a good run out of their tag team champions. I think they defended their belts successfully 6 or 7 times. So, I'm good with that. And then after that, we go to a little backstage segment with Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY. DIY's explaining that the tag team division needs to listen to them because they know what they're talking about. They are going to fix this Wyatt Six problem that they're having. And then Felix and Andrade come up, and then they say they're now part of the division. Johnny gets pretty worked up. Tommaso actually gets worked up, and he says he's going to talk to Aldis, that they've ruined everything that they've worked for. And then they stomp off, and the tag teams are just kind of standing there. And then we cut off to a recap of the Goldberg and Gunther feud. And this was actually sponsored by Arby's. Apparently they have a new cheesesteak sandwich that actually looked really good. And they sponsored a whole segment. It was like 4 to 7 minutes or so. I couldn't really tell. They just recapped the whole thing. They actually played it out pretty good because I haven't been really interested in the feud at all because I'm not a big fan of Goldberg in 2025. But I actually didn't skip through it. Arby's, and then I'm sure they didn't direct it. But either way, it kept my attention, and that's good enough. Then they had a Jelly Roll performance. I'd actually never heard Jelly Roll before tonight. Watching it, so I always thought he was a rapper because of all the tattoos and stuff, but it sounded like he was singing country. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that. Well, I'll have to maybe look it up later if I get interested enough. Then Logan Paul comes out, interrupts, like not even in the first chorus of the song, I guess is what it would be. They were about a minute into the song or so. And, man, Logan Paul goes on this rant about how people are there to see real superstars. Says that they're not there to listen to music of people who have tattoos of their kids but don't have custody of them. The crowd, they got crazy over that. Logan says he's tired of celebrities and influence coming into our industry, leeching off of our success on the platform that we have built, brother. And he put the brother on that. I really enjoyed that. That probably made a lot of people smile. And then he says the universe, WWE universe, does not need Jelly Roll. It needs Logan Paul, And throughout all this, I actually just started liking Logan Paul more and more the more he said. He said he belongs in WWE, and he announced that WWE just signed a deal with this podcast. And as he's making the announcement, Jelly Roll interrupts him, says, you don't know where we're at. This is my hometown, in Nashville, Tennessee. And here in Nashville, Tennessee, nobody gives a damn about your podcast. And then everyone cheers, Randy Orton comes out, kind of gives Logan Paul the business about him being really part of it. And then while all that's going on, Drew McIntyre comes out and claymores Randy. So while security is dealing with Drew getting him out, Logan Paul goes back in the ring and then attacks a down Randy Orton. And then Jelly Roll comes in and grabs Logan by the hair and kind of just tosses him across the ring, and that ends that segment. And then that go ahead and brings us into our next segment, which is R-Truth, Ron Killings versus Aleister Black. So this starts off basically as a match you would assume they would have. Aleister Black gets a lot of offense in until we get to the point that R-Truth rolls out of the ring. R-Truth puts a chair in the ring, tries to get in the ring with it, but when he's doing it, Aleister Black steps on the chair, hits him with a knee instead to the face, which puts R-Truth on the ground. Aleister Black goes over to the chair, picks it up. And when he goes to hit R-Truth with the chair, the referee takes it from behind him, and he turns around and looks at the referee, and then R-Truth rolls him up for the 1, 2, 3. Then as Aleister Black is walking back towards the backstage, he's fuming mad. You can tell he's going to go after R-Truth. And Damian Priest pulls up, pushes him pretty hard in the shoulder. I don't think Aleister Black was expecting Damian to push him as hard as he did. It made me smile. And to basically tells him, bro, it's over. The match is done. And Black just says, okay. They end up shaking hands, and Aleister Black walks away until he turns around and says, actually, wait, and then full-blown attacks Damian Priest. Security takes Aleister Black away. And then we head over to an in-ring segment with Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. Basically, Tiffany's saying, she wants to cement herself as one of the GOATs because she's already beaten Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, the list goes on and on. But she will be able to cement herself as one of the greatest if she beats Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus replies about, how she is the greatest of all time. She's going to walk out the champion, and then Naomi comes out, reminds everyone that, hey, I'm still here. I got this briefcase. And just a quick shout out to her new entrance theme is awesome. The glow theme was pretty cool, but hearing her come out to some hard rock, some metal, that's actually really awesome. I like that. And then Jade runs out, like not even a minute into Naomi being out there. Jade runs in behind her, starts attacking her. Jade's outfit made me think of Halle Berry's Catgirl, so now we can add that to the list of superhero characters that Jade Cargill could play in a movie. Yeah, that was a pretty cool segment. So they're going to keep their rivalry going, but Naomi's still saying, hey, I'm out here looking for gold. You better watch out for me at Evolution. So that's something to look forward on Sunday. And then now we end up to the main event where we got L.A. Knight and Big Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo. So this match actually had pretty normal pacing. It actually was just like a normal tag team match. They did really good with it. Crowd was still buying into everything. The crowd seemed to really enjoy the show. They were in it the whole time. It wasn't silent much. And so they go, and throughout the match, Paul Heyman ends up showing up near the, the ring announcer timekeepers area, and he's standing there with his Seth Rollins phone, and it looks like he's kind of talking into it, and LA Knight gets distracted, and he's staring at Paul Heyman as Tala Tonga is slowly rolling up on LA Knight from behind. So when LA Knight turns around, Tala Tonga hits him with the big boot. And when he hits him with the big boot, Solo Sikoa's, egging him on over the ropes and everything. And when he does that, Jimmy ends up getting the distracted roll up on Solo Sikoa. And then after that, kind of chaos just breaks out. Braun Breaker comes out, smashes LA Knight to end the show. Basically, that's how it happened tonight on SmackDown. It's getting us ready before Saturday night's main event, and also a little bit of previews with the women's division for what we're going to see here at Evolution with the Fatal 4-Way. I'm excited for that match. So all in all, I'll give SmackDown a big thumbs up. I enjoyed watching the show. I had to watch it in parts because I was busy, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. I wish my co-host was here to recap this with me. But that has been another episode. Thanks for watching.